Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lost Souls. As normal, we're having a few glitches. See if it's on Facebook, if it's coming up. Other than that, we might just be on YouTube. So, is what it is, right, guys?
That's right.
Yeah. So Daniel's in the background trying to see if he can find it. But anyway, we're here on Lost Souls, and usually we do shows about lost souls, about people that have gone missing or cold cases or both. And tonight, I asked the girls if we could do a show on YouTubers and social media people that are using missing person and crime cases to profit and get more likes and get more subscriptions, and at the cost of the investigation and the families, most of all families.
Okay, you guys are on Deb's page.
It is on Deb's.
Yep.
Yep, I have your
Okay.
individual.
So maybe Deb, maybe people on Deb. She's got the most viewers anyway, so we're good.
I'll see if it showed up on the other ones.
Yeah, they should have been on Mystical Awakenings Radio. You have a couple different pages, don't you, Deb?
Well, we have the Mystical Awakenings Radio page, and then we have the Mystical Awakenings Network group.
Okay, I don't know which one I should have. I think I went on radio.
It's not on either of them.
It was whatever one would send it to YouTube, I guess.
Well, you send it to YouTube through StreamYard.
Yeah. But I chose the one that had the little red.
Oh.
And then on Deb's personal page. So
there's Chris and Wes.
Hey, Chris and Wes.
Hey.
Hello, our beautiful family. Hello to you, sweethearts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holding them in my heart.
Me too. Heavy. But we love you, and we're thinking of you, and we're sending you love constantly. Yeah, so we're going to talk about lost souls, but we're going to talk about responsibility of presenting social media reach outs, and where the line is. I mean, we even had trouble for me when we started this Lost Souls, because I felt like we needed permission from the family to do the show. I didn't want to upset anybody. I wanted to make sure our information was correct, because the last thing we need to do is send people on goose chases.
Right.
And we'd even get a lot of psychics on here saying what they felt, and we were careful with that because we would look at it and we would read it and we'd share it, but we didn't want to share it maybe to the family.
Right. You never know who's going to be listening, or how things are going to be used.
Right. So all of you know I'm a big YouTube watcher. So we talked about the case Kylie Rodman. And last time we talked, she was just missing. And now she has been found, unfortunately, in the water in her car. And there's so many conspiracy theories out there, and there's so many YouTubers and social media who are using it to keep their channel. I mean, there's one girl on there, starts with Z. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. And I always thought she was just the sweetest girl. But she has taken this to a new level. She's on almost 24 hours talking about this case. I'm going to tell you, the ridiculousness is there was a scratch on one of the party goers' truck. Let's see if it could be the color of Kylie's car, because maybe that truck pushed the car into the lake.
Right.
And I mean, yes, all this stuff probably has to be looked at. There is some suspicious stuff, but the cops have got it. And I can't say we can always rely on all law enforcement, but the mother came on. They had a celebration of her life. She did a short video saying, please stop. Please stop with these conspiracy theories. We just want to celebrate and we want to mourn, and you're attacking all these young kids. And this is supposed to be their graduation. You know, this was supposed to be a time of happiness for them. And at the end, she said, we've got this. And it still didn't get some of them to back off.
Right.
And there is a young man who is a country rapper. And I don't want to say his name, but his initials are RU. And he's went crazy over this. I mean, he said she didn't exist. He said it was all a fraud thing to get money. He's got 3 million viewers. So you can imagine the impact he has.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was giving anyone who had information before he decided it wasn't true. He had offered up a car, $100,000 car for any information leading to it. And it's just a mess. And he gets on there, and one of the reasons I'm not saying his name is I'm afraid of him. I know we're a small channel, he'll probably never see it.
Probably not.
But if you go against him, he puts you into the conspiracy theory. He says you are a part of the trafficking. And there was a woman on there he just annihilated, and and then they'll call them fat heifers. And
Jeez.
if you disagree with him, and his everything he talks about is wild and crazy and painful for the family. Most importantly, painful for the family, saying that the parents are actors, that this never happened. And then if somebody was at the scene, he tries to make it so that they were, and these are kids, 17, 18 years old. The ex-boyfriend, they've almost put him in the category of the murderer, and he wasn't even at the party. So he's trying to grieve because they were still friends. But they're not going to let him grieve. You know, they're just going to keep accusing him and making up this stuff. And the Z girl I'm talking about that has gone crazy with how many hours? She's on 8 hours a day sometimes talking about this case.
All
And
about this one case?
Yes.
Oh,
Kylie. So then they open a panel and just let anybody come in and say whatever they want. And that RU person, he comes on all the time to her channel and says this crazy conspiracies and does all this stuff. And, you know, so she started out with maybe, 1,000 subs as subscriptions. And now she's got 300,000 subscriptions. I don't know. It's a lot. So, and she's getting monetized, and people are giving her money. You can send money while the show's on. I can't think what it's called. Super chat. You just send some money. And so this is all about making the money, making your subs bigger, getting the attention that you're famous now. And Deb, I can't believe it. We're supposed to be on here helping.
Right.
I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm ready to pull my hair out.
Well, the world has gone crazy. Think about it. People will do anything right now for recognition, to get their names out there for whatever reason. How can we stop it? We can't. Even by doing shows like this, they're still going to do it.
I know. Hi, everybody. Sorry we haven't been saying hi. I was on my...
I can't comment, but hi, everyone.
Yeah, so I think we have to take this to heart and be very careful with how we handle ourselves. I don't say that any one of us would do something like that.
No.
like I said, when we first started, I didn't know if we should ask permission from the family before we did it. I'm still a little confused about that because some of
Yeah.
these are really cold, old cases.
Right.
Yeah, if it's a public old cold case, you can pretty much go ahead and talk about it. If it's an ongoing case or an open case, I would never do it without contacting the family.
And we still want to be careful because we read stuff on the internet. We don't know if that's
Right.
completely reliable.
Right.
So it's really made me stop and think about how we're going to handle this. And I think all three of us have been conscious about that. So I'm glad for that. And, you know, we don't mind it if we get a lot of viewers. That's great. But that's not the purpose of Lost.
Right.
No, it's about intention. Our intention is to raise awareness. So if we get, you know, a large audience, it works in the favor of the person that's missing and their family. It doesn't, as you know, we're not doing it for our purposes, our benefit. We're doing it for theirs. And I think that's the biggest difference is the intention behind the shows. You know, our show, the intention is to raise awareness, to keep these names alive and in people's minds, whereas their intention is to make money off of it, to get attention from it. And I just think that's the biggest difference. And we just need to keep our minds aware of that and keep that in the forefront of our minds when we're doing this.
Right.
We don't want to lose focus. And I know it's easy when things start growing to kind of want to keep that momentum going. And I think that we, the three of us, will be able to kind of
Keep each other in check.
Yeah, and keep ourselves in check. I think in general, we are good people and we want the best for other people and we want to help. And I think that's going to be the big thing to kind of keep us in the right lane.
Hi,
Right.
everybody.
If
So if we got monetized, my thought was, or if we became this big channel, which we're going to, of course, we're trying to manifest that. I would say that anytime we talked about a case like this, that it goes to some kind of fund for missing persons could help you keep honest, couldn't it?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, you know, when we put stuff out there, it's with the intent of, number one, we contact the family. We're always respectful of the family. We invite them to be on with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's up to them. But you never know with some of these missing people, even the cases that we have done, that person could be potentially alive somewhere and living a whole different life.
Right.
They may have been sex trafficked. They may have, medical issues. You don't know.
Maybe they wanted to disappear,
There was a case not long ago, I can't think of the woman's name, who was taken as a little girl, and now she's an adult and she's been found.
Yeah.
She's alive and well and didn't even know she was missing.
She was missing.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I saw one where a woman was told she was the baby left in the post office or something, and she didn't know she was, she just knew she'd been adopted. But they even have a term for these social people that are using this, and it's called tragedy pimps. And that fits them perfectly. They're tragedy pimps, so it kind of reminds me of the whole Alex Jones case that's going on right now, the court case where he's being sued by the families of Sandy Hook, thank you. Because he said it was a stage thing, it never happened and all that stuff. I mean, it's just, what is wrong with people?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's heartbreaking.
It really, really is.
What does that have to do to these parents?
Oh, I can't imagine.
Oh, I can't either.
And then I wanted to touch on, because they've been kind of my heroes on YouTube, Adventures with Purpose. They go out with their boats and their radar and they find people in the water, and they've done they're real successful. They have only been doing it a little over a year, and they've found 24 people, gave closure to families. But in this case, they found Kylie, and they have muddied the waters. They could have just they could have found her, gave it over to the cops and went on their way. But no, they had to put themselves in the middle and say they talked to a tow truck driver that said he saw Kylie the day before or the night before. So that means she was alive. And they aren't law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
They should stick in their lane. You know what I mean? But it gives them a lot more views. It gives them more people sending them money. It gives them all that stuff. So as much as I respect them and I'm grateful that they found Kylie, there's that line being crossed again.
Yeah.
You know, when I was watching them find her, I was so impressed because they showed that they taped it, but they didn't show it till later, that Doug had everybody shut down their phones and had him hand him the phone because he didn't want a circus of people coming because they had heard on somebody's phone that she had been found. And he was trying to be really respectful and saying, you know, we don't need the circus here right now. We got to get law enforcement here. But they called the family first. And I don't know if that's the way to go. You know, I think they should have called law enforcement first. But they're new at this. This is a whole new genre of their expertise. So, I mean, even cops are trying to get trained by them now.
Yeah.
But they've got to learn that there's some things they're expert in and some things they're not expert in.
Right.
And when it comes to missing people, I mean, yes, they do the work, but they don't, you know, sometimes they're so busy with other things that they don't go that extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, they don't have the training for what it's like Adventures with Purpose says, we do this every day.
right.
We've learned the radar and we have the equipment. We know how to use the equipment. We know how to read it better than anybody else. The cops have maybe 2 days of training at the beginning of their career.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So
And
this
that's
has
why,
awakened police departments to know they need to know more. And that's a good thing. But Adventure with Purposes aren't detectives either. You know?
right. Well, even, you know, with Project Missing, what Debbie Markham and I do, when we go on active searches, we usually call in teams of dogs
Right.
to search the area.
Mhm.
And it, again, that's something they do every single day, or maybe not every day, but they do it often. That's what they do.
Right.
Mhm.
The first case, one of the first cases we had on was the Kyle Mosher case. And it took like a week before the police took in dogs, search dogs, and they were only there a few hours. So if you don't, you know, if you don't take that into your own hands,
Right.
you know, you can't just sit back and expect the police
Just
are going to solve this, because it doesn't usually happen that way. But I
I'm
can
trying to
say,
read some of the comments. I'm sorry.
okay, go ahead. But I will say that, you know, we do tell people, you know, whether it's people with dogs or people helping search, whatever, if you find any evidence, you stop, you don't mess with it, then you call law enforcement.
Right.
You
Mhm.
do not tamper with
Right.
evidence. ever.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because the dad and the grandpa were on a 4-wheeler and they were to the site before the cops could get there.
Mhm.
And suppose, you know, there's different stories that they really didn't call the cops. The cops learned through social media, and you know, it's all messed up, but it's none of our business really. But anyway, the grandpa ended up staying and the dad left because he did not want to see that. You know what I mean? But I think that's pretty traumatic for the family. And then Adventures with Purpose also, there's controversy about them showing the family when they have discovered somebody and using that as to get views, to get likes, to get
Kind of like an advertisement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
and-
probably why they inform the family first.
Yeah.
They
Right.
can do that.
right. So yeah, they wanted that on film, and there was a young man that used to work with him. He's got his own. I think he's still got his own channel. He might have taken it down. It was Sam the Adventure Man, and him and the main guy had started Adventures with Purpose. And I don't know, sometime last year he left because of these concerns. So he had left and he just went on short and he said, I love you guys. I think you're doing great, but I think you ought to take a look and check yourself on some of these issues. And you tell people, you have these RVs that go around that are older RVs, and you have blowout tires, and you film all this like you're this poor little group going around needing money to keep doing what they do. And he said, that's not the truth. He probably has $1 million a month coming in.
Wow.
So
Does he charge families, or is that just like donation?
no, it's all from the YouTube
Okay.
channel, all the thing. I mean, he's a good businessman.
Sure.
And he's doing good work. So that's why there's this imbalance.
Right.
Have a balance.
Right.
So Sam had said something about he was a volunteer and has a baby and everything, and he would be out on the road with Jared all the time. And they started using Sam's face picture as stickers and bumper stickers. And Sam just said, could I get gas money? And that's when Jared said, I guess we need to part ways.
Oh, wow.
And that was the end of that. So, and that just broke Sam, I don't know his real name, Adventure Man's heart. And made he said he was already struggling. Him and a cameraman left. They were already struggling with them using the family in such a dramatic way.
Right.
And he said, even if the families gave permission, they weren't at a good place to be making that decision. Of course, they felt it indebted to this group and didn't want to say no to them because, they found their loved one that's probably been missing 10 or 20 years. So,
yeah,
I just felt like a need to bring it out and talk about it because social media is exploding. And if we don't put some kind of checks in on each other, if nothing else, then stuff like this is just it's just sickening.
right.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't seen any of that. But I know there's a lot of new YouTubers. There's the one with predator chasers or something. They actually set older men up. They do these chat sites and all that. And
sometimes older women. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes older women, most of the time not, but
it's men most of the
they
time.
pretend to be like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Like To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they do, they go right to the house or wherever and they put these people right on the camera. And, it's a good thing because it does bring them out. But, the sad part is there's no, what if they had the wrong person? You know what I mean?
Right.
And here they are on camera with these people saying, we've got you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you're doing.
Right.
Most of the time, I'm sure it's a good thing.
Right.
But then they have to try to get the police to arrest this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I got it all on camera here,
right.
So.
And it's all on camera. So I think that, some people are doing good things with it, but they're just a little maybe twisted in how
They're going about it.
Yeah.
And that fame can go to your head.
Yeah.
And with RU, he's obviously a narcissist. And so he's never going to come out and say he was wrong or apologize or anything like that. He's just going to keep. I mean, he saw a helicopter going over and said, he was being spied on by the government because he knew about Kylie and nobody else did. It's just crazy.
Oh boy.
But
Eesh.
so I want us to really stay true to ourselves, and
Yeah.
like you guys said, keep a check on each other. And when we become a great big channel, do some good with it.
Right.
Put it into missing person cases or whatever that
For
looks
sure.
like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important to be the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
These people need, some of these cases, like Stephanie said, are years old and people have forgotten. So they might see that person every day or, know something and not even know to say something. So it is important to be the voice of the voiceless.
I think that's the problem, is we don't want them to ruin it for the good that others are doing or
Right.
trying to do. And, if you get the people are watching YouTube and they see that on there, they're going to think, oh, these people are just,
Yeah, I don't want us to be associated with that
no.
type of behavior.
No. And it's just, and it's not just the missing persons and murders. It's anything that they can think that they can get
An extra subscriber.
Yeah, extra subscriber or a chat, whatever it is, super chat, or a monetized, so that they get.
Right. Oh yeah. The one I was talking about, I actually saw a local case that popped up on Facebook that, this person that is local here was being filmed on YouTube by whatever this predator group is. I don't remember.
Nice.
But during that time, they're nailing this guy and they did bust him. He started out lying, ended up basically admitting, yeah, I knew what I was doing. Sending videos of himself doing things and all that. But during that video, they had tons of huge donations. Tons. Because we all want these predators
Exactly.
not going after our kids.
Yeah.
We all want our kids, no matter how old they are, to be able to safely be online without having to worry
Right.
that this is going to happen.
But then these people are taking advantage of that. They're taking advantage of the natural fear of parents or grandparents or whoever to keep their kids safe.
Yeah.
And they're using that to benefit themselves. And that's where it's not okay.
Yeah. So that's where you need that balance that Beth was talking about. Do good work, but
it's the Z girl that I'm talking about. I wanna like embrace her and say, honey, what you're doing is so wrong. And you were such a sweet girl. Or I thought you were a sweet girl. She is. She's just gotten carried away, caught up in it. But when the mother came on and said, we've got this and you guys need to back off, in a nice, loving way. She's a real hippie woman, and she was trying to be as kind as she could be. And the girl, I almost said her name. Z girl came on and she says, well, I almost feel bad about talking about this now. Almost feel bad. And I say she's a girl. She's 40.
oh
Oh my
geez.
gosh. I was expecting 19 or something.
No, she's 40. You wouldn't know it though to see her or listen to her. She sounds very young.
Yeah.
But I mean, the older in me wants to take her and say, this isn't the way to do this. This isn't the way to get your fame, your 15 minutes of fame or whatever. Not off of somebody's pain and suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can understand that you covered it, but now they've asked you to stop. And I mean, everybody's been a suspect in these people's eyes, and all these high school kids and everything. I mean, I remember they were trying to show how this one guy who said he wasn't involved might have been involved because he was showing himself driving, but when he was being interviewed, they could see a tattoo on his hand, but when they were driving, he was driving and filming himself, they couldn't see the tattoo. Well, he's a gentleman of color, and the lighting in the car wasn't great. How would you know if the tattoo was there or not? And anyway, really? That's what you're going to be, do 3 hours on? I just can't. I just can't.
Well, I remember when Gabby Petito was missing and people were going out with like spirit boxes and stuff before they even knew she was dead. And they're out there trying to do this, and psychics are out there going to do this. And it was just horrible to watch.
Yeah.
They don't even they're not giving her peace. They're not giving her family peace, to be able to process properly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there's, even with Crystal, like Deb got contacted. That's different. But her mother gets contacted daily of psychics wanting to give her information. And I get it. If we get something, we want to give it. But we got to be conscientious about that. We don't want to send them on these chases and get their hopes up and do all that thing. You could go to the cops. You could tell them what you felt. Or the detectives. There's some detectives and cops open to it. But you don't need to go directly to the family. And that's why we're kind of careful on here, because we want to know what you guys are feeling and thinking. But we don't necessarily think we should hand it over to the family, maybe to the people in charge of the case, but not necessarily to the family. And if the family seeks one out, that's great. That's their business, and they should do it. But, if it was me and I had a missing person, I would be grabbing at every straw, and anybody that wanted to say anything to me, and it would probably have me going in 5 million different directions.
Well, and that is a huge problem on missing person cases, is you will get literally hundreds of psychics that want to tell you what they're getting.
Right.
And of course, 99% of them are totally different. So that can be terrible.
And then you're holding up the case. If they are going to law enforcement with these, then they're holding up the case and they're preventing them from investigating in a meaningful way that might actually, and I don't want it to sound like I'm disparaging psychics or anything like that, because
same here. I mean, it's
obviously we know that it can be beneficial, but there's a time and a place for everything. And if they've got 100 people telling them 100 different things, and they have to look at each thing just to be sure, it's really diverting attention away from where it should be.
In the Kylie case,
most don't pan out.
Right.
So
in the Kylie case at Truckee, there was a lot of things that went wrong, or this isn't a big police department. They're not used to this kind of, but they had like 90,000 hours. I don't know. They had a bunch of hours of all the community came together, and everybody was out searching, and everybody was looking, and they did do some off the wall things, like let teenagers talk to other teenagers to see if they could get the teenagers to give them any information. And that was because it was a party that stuff was going on that shouldn't have been going on. And some of the parents even said you shouldn't be talking to the cops. So they were trying to find a way to get more information, get pictures of the party, get all that kind of stuff. So I can see that they were desperate, that maybe they thought out of the box thinking might be a good thing. And, there was balls dropped. I mean, when they turned over the car to get her, they didn't seal up the windows, so everything fell out, and nobody went and retrieved it. so there is red flags, but let the FBI handle it. The FBI is involved because that's a national park or whatever. It's on federal land. So if we're not hearing, and they're like, why haven't we heard? Well, first of all, you don't need to hear. You're not in the loop. Nobody is obligated to tell you what's going on. And then it's like, I think they're so young that they don't realize that these things take time. These, sending it to the lab and getting the analysis.
Take years.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys for letting me vent about this because I felt like I was going to burst. And then to see it over and over, and I know I shouldn't be watching it, and I did quit watching it because that just adds to them, right? That just adds to their numbers. And I was watching it, to be fair, when it was just before she got found. And then as she was found, it just became so toxic. It was almost like people were upset that she was found in the car. They wanted some big murder thing. And I'm not saying there's not foul play. I have no idea. I mean, it was
they wanted it sensationalized.
Yeah. She was found in the back hatch. That's weird. But they turned the car over, and if there was air, anyway, they have both sides explaining it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's none of they don't owe us an explanation.
No,
they don't owe YouTubers an explanation. They owe the family. No. And obviously the family knows more than they do. So if the mother is saying, we've got this, then I feel pretty secure that we should let her say they've got this.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And a lot of times family will bring in private groups or private people who that's what they do is missing people work.
There is one that the dad had there, and he threw Adventures with Purpose pretty much under the bus just because he was upset the way they handled it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, there was times people were videotaped and they didn't know they were being videotaped, like he was. And they blurred his face and everything, but tell people that you're recording them, for Pete's sakes. So,
right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we just got to be really conscious about this whole thing. So do you guys want to talk about, we are going to have, go back to Lost Souls the way it was. We're going to do a Native American, if you guys know about how many Native American, especially women, have gone missing.
And children
with no explanation, just gone. And we've got some thoughts about it, and we will tell you that they're thoughts. They're not facts.
They are our opinions.
They're our opinions. But we're going to do that on October 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're just going to do a dual show because it is about women's rights as well. So we'll talk about women's rights and that all in one show because it is going to be on a Monday night. And Monday is usually we won't go back. So how about other cases you guys have been? I know, Stephanie, you sent me some things, and honestly, I have not read them yet.
Oh, I sent you, it's an article about this couple. They are like 71 or 72, and they do the same kind of thing as Adventures with Purpose. Their names are Gene and Sandy Ralston. And they were both like these scientists who, worked in research labs and all this stuff up until the 80s. And they had seen stories of people going out with sonar, searching lakes and stuff for people who had drowned or people who had committed suicide in the water or whatever. And were charging families upwards of tens of thousands of dollars. And they just obviously thought that was disgusting. So they took all their money and they bought their own sonar equipment and taught themselves how to use it. And now they just go out and that's all they do is families will contact them and they go out and do it for free. And they, that's how they're spending their retirement essentially.
Love it.
Yeah, I heard it. Someone telling a story about them, and it was just amazing that they They just go out wherever they're needed. They're based in Idaho, but they go wherever they're needed. They travel in an RV. The most they'll charge is for like travel expenses if it's somewhere far, obviously, because they do drive it in the RV so that they can take all their equipment with them, and they don't have to charge for, you know, shipping it out to wherever they need it. But yeah, they do it for free just to help, just because they were sickened by the amount of money people were being charged to find loved ones.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. What happened to people working together?
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and on a
Everybody's-
good note, that's how Adventures with Purpose started. They were just cleaning up the rivers and waterways. They were getting cars out and getting anything that was in our water, trying to save our water. And of course, finding cars, they started finding people.
Sure.
So that's how that all started. But did you send me something about a case too? Somebody sent me a week or so
I
ago.
haven't. I've been so busy. I have no idea.
I would have to go back and look because I don't remember.
Well, we can talk about that next show, I guess.
Yeah.
But you guys hearing anything out there about anything to do with missing persons or cold cases?
Yeah, you know I haven't. My nose has been right into UFO contact.
Yeah.
So,
I did hear about a local one. It was a woman in Traverse City. I wonder if
I
she's
haven't
been
heard
found
about
because
that.
I haven't heard any more about it. So I'm wondering if she was not found. So I'll have to look into it. But yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see from our time when I was younger. Now they have these alert systems. What are they called? Where you can see it on the highway. Watch out for this vehicle.
Like an Amber Alert type
Yeah,
thing for the kids.
Comes across your phone. That type of thing. So, I mean, I think we're getting technology can be good, is what I'm going to say.
right.
Sure.
Technology can be bad, kind of what we were talking about earlier, and technology can be good.
Yeah.
And it's just like the social media. Good is that we're keeping the stories alive. Bad is people will want to make
Mhm.
fame and money off of
Yeah.
people suffering.
Right.
So what are some of the comments here? Mandy said, I've never charged ever in helping anyone because so many things can go wrong. And I'd rather have peace of mind that I did a good deed for someone. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here, Mandy. I've never taken money for a reading of missing families. And I never
And then
will.
she said ambulance chasers. Remember that? We used to use that term.
Oh yeah.
Lawyers would go after the ambulance and talk to the families. Oh, yeah. Do they still do that?
Probably. I don't know.
Kristen said, be respectful to others. Absolutely. And Mandy said she couldn't give that bad news to the family, even if I picked up on it. Yeah, that would be hard.
And you shouldn't.
RJ
Really
said,
shouldn't.
hi, wonderful ladies. Hi, RJ, if you're still watching. What's Daniel think about everything? Is he going to put his 2 cents worth in tonight?
He said no. He's working on stuff for
You guys
the.
got this.
He's pulling
Okay.
DVR on the Bigfoot thing, so I don't know if he's been
I have been
paying
listening.
attention.
I'm listening and watching, but I'm a busy soul.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Candace said, unfortunately, our news, whether computer, TV, radio, isn't always correct. I hope you can help. Yeah, I don't, Candace, I'm not sure. We even doubt things we read because we're not in the loop. We're not in the FBI
Right.
loop. We're not in the, we can give it our best guess that this has probably been, if we get a newspaper article or something, I think one of the things, ladies, we should do is give our sources.
Yeah.
We have something. And that way people can look it up themselves or they can do their own research.
Yeah, unless you're dealing with people and you can't give that source.
Right. And then if you get it from the horse's mouths, I feel pretty confident that that's okay to give that information.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if we have the mother on of a missing child and they're telling their experience,
Well, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
If the
or
mother is telling it. But sometimes if you're working directly with the family and the family gives you information, that information is not really public.
right.
Yeah, you don't want
I guess I'm
to.
talking more about the cold cases. Like we had
Okay,
somebody
yeah.
on and they told their story. You know, I'm pretty confident
Right.
that's the way it happened because
Yeah,
they were there. So
right.
yeah. So
But it
this
is
has
a good
got
idea.
this has got to stop. This Alex Jones crap where he's and he doesn't care how many people. I mean, you see these parents on the stand and they're telling how what he has said has affected their life and they're scared to go out because people are threatening them. These are people that had their child killed in a shooting at school, and yet they have to be fearful because some idiot is out there saying this isn't real. They're actors. It's to take your
Right.
guns away.
So you can make
All this bullshit. Sorry, I'm not gonna
Oh,
filter.
I agree.
And then it just causes more pain for the family. And
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
never lets them completely heal because they're
Right.
seeing stuff on social media, they're getting letters in the mail, they're getting threatened at events. It's what is wrong with people?
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Well, we know there's a lot of, it used to be back in the day, years ago, there were conspiracy theories and they were based on just a little bit of truth,
Right.
but it wasn't like that big of a deal. Nowadays, conspiracy theories is like a whole different world,
Oh yeah.
and they've just gone way too far.
It's not fringe anymore. You know,
No,
it used to be when
no.
when you believe in these conspiracy theories, you were the fringe of society, and now that's just normal.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, with
Yeah.
Alex Jones too, he's making money from it.
Yeah,
Same
and that's
thing. He's
disgusting.
getting views. People are watching him. He's selling these damn vitamins. He's selling food that won't go bad because they're going to come and take our guns away, and you got to hide in the basement, and you got to have this
Oh
food
yeah.
that won't go bad.
Yeah.
And so, why he's talking about these stories just happens that these commercial, the vitamins and crap he's selling is in the corner with the 800 number there. So you can
Right.
get it. Like he says that all the frogs are gay now. Good for them, right? Good
Yeah.
for them.
Whatever
And
makes them happy.
they have
Well,
this
what does gay mean? If you looked up gay,
happy.
happy.
Yeah.
So just saying.
But he's saying it takes their testosterone away.
Yeah.
And so get these testosterone vitamins so you don't, so you can help the gay frogs. I don't know.
What in the world?
Yeah.
So these people that listen to him, and I mean, they're dangerous. Look what happened at the FBI place in, was it
Mhm.
Cincinnati? I forget. And luckily, the FBI guys didn't get killed. He did. But
Look what happened at the Capitol. Just
yeah,
saying.
more importantly, look what happened at the Capitol.
I'll shush up.
So you don't have to. You know what? This is our damn show.
Talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm tired of it. You get
Yeah.
old people and you're just going to say what you think. So,
Well, the sad thing is, it's gotten to the point that it hurts
Yes.
humanity. It's hurting people. It's hurting
People, yeah.
families. It's, these scams, there's so many scams that are conspiracy theory based that you don't know what to believe anymore.
right.
So it's gone way, way, way too far. It's no longer, like Stephanie said, just being on the fringe. It's really a thing. I love you, Mandy. Oh my God, me too. You're
Uh,
hilarious.
no
Yeah,
wonder
people
all-
have
no
gotten
wonder all those
into
frogs I kissed turned into a prince. I mean, it's just crazy what they anybody with any intelligence or sense would watch these people and say those people are nuts,
Right.
but they somehow tune in to people that
They
are,
make it
well, they use
believable.
fear.
Mhm.
That's how they do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have their little ways, but honestly, anyone can make up these conspiracy theories and just put it out there all over social media like it is. This is fact. Don't
Yeah.
believe what you're reading. Don't believe this. Don't believe that. This is fact. Anybody can do that, and that's what they're doing.
And there's no
Yeah.
consequence
I'm
for what
not
they're
saying-
saying.
I think
Right.
one of the
There's no
things that
consequence.
has made it believable is there has been. We have been fooled before.
Mm-hmm.
We have had the wool pulled over our eyes before. So, boy, that feeds into it. You know that damn moonwalk. It was not real. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, everybody. That flag shouldn't have been. That,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but there has been stuff that we didn't know the whole truth. But there might have been a reason we didn't know the whole truth.
Mhm.
We're
Sure.
not supposed to know the whole truth because there's stuff like you're not supposed to take secret documents out of Washington to a hotel. You're just not supposed to do that,
No.
because
There are rules around that.
nuclear secrets. I don't think should be outside of.
At the Motel 6.
Yeah, no, I don't
But
think
you
they
push,
should be there.
the power of my mind.
But
Yeah.
sometimes, and then it is frustrating because we all know that we've been visited, right? And the government keeps that from us. So that makes us a little bit conspiracy theory ready,
Sure.
except,
No.
so it's kind of, and I get it. Back in the day when they did that radio show where everybody thought it was real that the aliens had landed.
Oh yeah, that was back in 1932 or something.
Yeah, people would have
Mhm.
lost their
It was
minds.
a Halloween thing, and I mean, there were people who literally committed suicide.
Yeah. So I can understand that the government somehow thinks they have to protect us,
Mhm. But the government is no longer denying it,
right. Yes, thank goodness.
so
Thank goodness for that.
we can let that one go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
That
sure
was
there's
just an
stuff-
example of why there might be people that actually grab onto it.
Oh yeah, I mean, do we think that they're always honest with us? Absolutely not.
No. But there is reasons sometimes that they are for military secrets or
Radio show.
what do you say, radio shows?
Radio show.
Oh, Madison was knocking on the door, so he was letting her know
Oh, okay.
we're on the
Oh.
radio.
Got it.
Well, look how we were pushed down and filtered and at Standing Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a reason to push back a bit, but
Right.
not when there's families, feelings, and healing and all that involved. You don't get to be profitable off those people or keep their wounds open or accuse them. It's just not right. It's not decent.
But it's happening nonstop, and
Yep.
I think a lot of the problem is we've been so desensitized. People see people as things.
Yeah.
As, that compassion. Like we look at somebody and we can almost read their soul, and you get a soft heart or you cry because your friend is or someone has had a hard time. Some people can't do that.
Right.
I don't get it, but I know that it's happening. So, how do we stop it? I don't know. That's why I keep pushing love.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need unity. We really
I
do.
think as as empaths, it's hard for us to understand how people could do that because we pick up on the feelings of despair from the families and the loved ones, and we just can't imagine putting those feelings onto someone. And so I think
Right.
that makes it harder for us to comprehend people taking advantage of that because we just never would.
Right. And we always think of how would I feel if someone said that to me or if that
Right.
were presented. Um,
At the
yes.
very worst time of your life, you
Right.
get more attack, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that people, us elders, we sorry, I consider you an elder, Stephanie, in your
She's an old soul.
old soul way.
Yeah.
We do need to call it out and hold people for their accountability, just like we won't go back. Just like that. We've got to stand up. We can't be the spiritual person that sit there and go, oh, everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that's
Everything
great.
is not unicorns and daisies. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
there's a lot out
Party
there.
and rainbows, sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Not gonna do it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And we do need warriors.
Yeah.
We need people that
Spiritual
will
warrior.
stand up, and that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
How we
encourage
doing?
everybody that's listening to do the same thing.
Yes. We need you to be aware of what's going on. Not get sucked into the moment of excitement when you hear this happened or that happened, and stay off of YouTube sometimes. But,
Yeah, and that's the
well, we're
problem.
coming
You
up
know-
on the hour. So I'd like everybody to get their promos in. And Stephanie, we'll start with you.
Okay. So we have on Monday nights at 6 p.m. My Haunted Diary Communion on YouTube. It's Daniel's weekly show that he puts on, and it kind of just gives a behind the scenes look at what we're doing and what we're working on. And I think we started the Bigfoot series last week, so that'll be fun to see what we found and hear what we found, more importantly. So
I would like to just say that to get ratings, I will be picturing a fully naked Bigfoot, shaved to the bone, guaranteed 100%. I just want ratings, and no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, you have to repeat what he said because we couldn't hear.
do I have to?
Well,
No,
give us
He
a
said it. He
small
said
version.
if it gives him ratings, he will guarantee a fully naked and shaved Sasquatch.
oh dear God.
That will look a lot like Barry.
Wow,
Look
that-
like Barry.
big guarantee there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that would increase ratings
No,
or viewers.
I don't think so.
And you sell some products online.
I do. I have a shop online, Mayriki, and we do soaps and candles, all handcrafted at home. A fun little side gig for me. So you can find us on Facebook, and we are in a shop downtown called Blessed Bee Tea and Apothecary, and we have a line of candles and soaps specific for that store. So go ahead and check them out and find something you like.
And what town would that be?
Oh, that's in Traverse City. And then we're also in a store in Kingsley, Michigan called Chickadees.
Nice, nice. Anything else for upcoming in October? You and I, and we've invited Deb and RJ if they want to come to Howe Opera House, a small little tour after the psychic fair there.
Mhm.
Just some experiments we're going to be doing, and you can get tickets through there. And I said I would have that, and I didn't. So I'll have to get that up. Yeah, Deb, I need help. Yeah. So, Deb,
I can help you with tickets.
you just had a big event, Deb, and you're already planning the next one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually start planning the next one before the current one takes place.
Which is
Insane. The Michigan UFO Contact. that is every September, usually the third weekend in September, in Houghton Lake, Michigan, at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center. It was an amazing event, amazing. I'm still on a high, but I'm totally exhausted. And speaking of Houghton Lake, we have our store in Houghton Lake, Michigan, Mystical Awakenings, our metaphysical store, where we sell crystals and candles and incense and metaphysical tools. We do readings and healings. And right now we have about 1 million books scattered everywhere because of the conference. We came home with all of these books. So it's a mess. Every Thursday night, so tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, I am on Mystical Awakenings Radio, KGRA, digital broadcasting. And tomorrow RJ and I are just kind of introducing ourselves on that network to let people know what we do, who we are, and all of that. We encourage people to stop in and, let us know what you want to see. I will say that the following week, I have a really cool guest, and that is Michael Carter.
Oh, yay.
From Ancient Aliens and from Michigan UFO Contact. He was a fantastic
It's
speaker.
amazing.
He's
He
amazing.
looks like the nicest man ever.
Oh, he is.
Barry about died when he realized we were missing Michael Carter. So.
Oh, and Ronnie, Ronnie was there, and of course we'll have Ronnie on as well, but I don't know when yet. Yeah, it was a wonderful event.
Well, tell him who Ronnie is.
Ronnie LeBlanc is from Expedition Bigfoot. He is the cool dude who works with Julia, and he not only does the Bigfoot end of it, but he also deals a lot with UFOs and the connection with the UFO and Bigfoot.
So your Thursday night show, is that also on YouTube?
That is also on Mystical Awakenings podcast YouTube, same as this one. And it will also be on my Facebook.
Nice.
So, yeah. And
Anything else?
and Mystical Awakenings Radio.
Yes.
And KGRA is home base. So, there's so many amazing shows on there. So, it's a subscription thing. You can't just go KGRA, and you can listen to shows, but if you want to hear all the current stuff, it's very inexpensive, like $6.99 a month or something, and even less if you pay by the year. So,
Okay.
yeah.
In the men in our lives are thinking about doing a small little news channel where they talk about everything paranormal, UFO, Bigfoot, everything, what's happening right now, what the news is breaking in the paranormal field, and probably just be a half-hour show. I don't know if it'll be weekly, bi-weekly, but they're planning that, so get excited about that.
In the works.
And we've got Ghoul Talk, of course. We have We Won't Go Back, which we'll have another one of those Monday. We're going to keep doing them every Monday until the election. So whoever can join, and that's just going to keep doing it. We're just going to put the nose to the grindstone and get her done.
Yeah.
So we'll be on next Monday. I haven't put that show up yet, but it'll be up soon. And a special one on October 10th that'll be about Native people going missing, but we're going to bring that together with the women's rights show as well. So it'll be like a dual show. And then Barry and I are trying to start a Sacred Journeys channel podcast, and that's about sacredness in travel and things like that. So kind of keep your eye out for it. I'm trying to work on it this week, so we're going to see what happens there. No promises. So yeah, let's see what else. We talked about the psychic fair we're going to have. Do we have the dates for us maybe being a part of in Cadillac, Stephanie?
I haven't had any confirmation yet. I'm still waiting on that.
Okay. So we won't even talk about that right now. But when
Yeah.
we do, we'll let you know. Stay tuned. Anything else you guys got in October, Deb?
Just private stuff.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
have
us too.
private stuff,
Us
so
too.
we don't put that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you guys planning on workshops and stuff? Are you going to do? I knew you were thinking about doing StreamYard ones, or
Yeah, we'll go back to doing the workshops and things in the winter. As soon as, we have one more speaking engagement, I think one in Dundee in November. And then I may be doing a mystical retreat weekend, because I'm really, even though I said I'm not going to do it twice a year anymore, I'm really getting pushed to do it.
okay.
So that might be something. But yeah, we'll be doing.
Well, if you need help with that, let us know.
Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
that. You're going to
Absolutely.
be this year.
Because we'll be here. We're
Yeah.
not doing this November, so
You're right.
we'll be here. All right. So I guess that we can wrap it up for tonight. Remember, everybody, don't sub, don't give them likes. These people that are making money and profit and getting their egos fed off of other people's tragedy. I don't blame you if you want to go peek at their thing just to see what I'm talking about. I think it's good to go look at it and say,
Yeah,
judge.
you're advertising them.
Yeah. Well, judge for yourself.
Views count.
Yeah. But if you only watch so many minutes, it doesn't count. So just watch a little bit and then get off of there. But no likes, no subscriptions onto those people. So yeah. But like and subscribe to us, please. That's different. Yeah. So yeah, we wouldn't mind a thumbs up and the Atta Girls. We aren't monetized, so we're not making anything from this. So, but it's nice to get an Atta Girl now and then, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we hope that you guys have a great rest of your evening. And with that, we will say good night.
Good night.